Okay, so, hello, and welcome to Gaming and Talking, 2, the sequel. I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to play this game, which is Slay the Spire, while, talking to myself, because you sort of have to think a little bit. Um, but like last time, I've got a bunch of topics. It's so fucking over already. I've got a bunch of topics on the side of my monitor over here. Just stuff I wanted to speak about. And, yeah, I guess I'll do that. I've been watching movies recently. If you pay attention to, like, the community post that I put on the main channel, there was this one I put out about Heat. And, yeah, I mean, I watched Heat, but that's just one movie that I recently watched. If you consider all the movies I watched recently, there was like 6 of them or something. But out of that list, I can really only recommend 2 if you're interested, and that would be Puss in Boots 2, which was just good, and then I think it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was interesting. I don't know if it's good because it's a sort of movie where it throws everything at you very fast and doesn't really explain anything. And I don't even know if there are explanations sometimes. But it was definitely a unique watch, I'll say that much. And then speaking of movies, I guess, I watched a musical recently. For the first time in years. Which is weird because I used to go to musicals super often. And the musical I watched was Gypsy, which I thought was a slur. But they can't, like, name a musical after a slur, right? So I think it's okay. But anyway, it was fine. To be honest, the main character was insufferable, and it was so cathartic to watch her husband and kids leave her. Which makes this sound like a depressing story, and really it is. Fantastic, I get a curse. Should you watch it? No? It's not something special enough that it would be worth your time, really. But yeah, I've seen so many musicals, and I would get back into them if I wasn't so lazy. Oh, what to play? I would get back into them if I wasn't so lazy. And, I mean, yeah. I'm just sort of returning to other media, I guess you can say. It's alright. I should have used some kind of defense there. But yeah, speaking of media, games. This is an interesting little game. It's quite unique. It's a sort of puzzle-adjacent game. Because you have all of these, like, little cards, right? You have a deck, you can keep building the deck, and your goal is to reach the top of the spire and win. And, I mean, there's a lot of luck involved. And there's a lot of luck involved, but it's also very skill-based. It's about, like, making the right decisions. Point is, anyway, games, who cares? What's a video game? I released that Bear Trauma video, and it went over surprisingly well, to be honest, because it's not, like, a very big game, but I'm surprised to see how many people in the comments knew about it. And not only knew about it, but, like, gave it praise. Although that part is less surprising because if you've played the game, you know it's fantastic. Yeah, so there's, like, demand for, I mean, I guess there's some demand for me continuing the series, which I do want to do somewhat. Wow, okay. Which I do want to do somewhat, but I also don't want it to turn into free content, because it's, you know, easy. I don't want to fall into that. Kind of the same reason I stopped doing tier lists. And yeah, I have like other games. I have one that I want to do a video on right now, but it will take a long time to make, so who knows when that'll come out. But I guess talking about games, Payday 3. We have more news. Woohoo! There's another beta happening, and if you're wondering if I'm gonna be participating in this one, no, not in this one either. This one's an open beta at least, so anyone who wants to can get in. But yeah, the thing is, again, it's sort of in an awkward time schedule for me that I'm just not gonna bother with. So and at this point, I'm sort of looking to go into Payday 3 naturally, I guess you can say. I don't really care about the beta versions anymore. I just like to see the finished game as it is. And yeah, that's why I'm waiting. Did not mean to click that card, but whatever. That's why I'm waiting for that to just come out so I can play it, which is in this month, really. So that's cool. Also, this room is so bad. I almost want to just give up. Let's see. Here's my decision here. I can either block more, or I can take this and hope to get this card. Let's go for the risk. Anyway, I'm looking forward to when it comes out. And of course it's 3. Well, it's over. Anyway, I'm looking forward to when it will come out. I'll play it. Do I have good hopes for it? Not really, because so far the voice acting is something I have a problem with. It seems so soulless. But again, that's from the beta versions, so, you know, I want to see the full game. But I will say I don't like Shade. Shade is just bad. She doesn't do any of, like, the fun stuff that Bane did. She doesn't, like, have the personality of Locke. She's just kind of for me so far. But we'll see. We'll see when the game comes out. And so, next video when? I would like to release a video before I do the Payday 3 video, because I'm definitely doing a Payday 3 video, but that's going to be like in like a month, so I want to get a video out sometime before then, and I have a plan for one. Will I tell you what it is? No. Alright, moving on. Yeah, I've returned to school. So yeah, that's been cool. I'm quite occupied with a lot of stuff, because I am both doing research for the physics department, and also I'm a TA for, like, the lower math classes. Or, not math classes, but lower physics classes, because I'm a physics person. I'm doing 2 majors. I'm doing a math major and a physics major, but I'm a physicist. I'm really only taking math for the physics elements. It's like, I'm gonna take, or at least I'm planning to, take complex analysis, and then functional analysis, which are for physics, more or less. Because they're pretty... Well, I don't want to say niche math fields, but they're more useful in physics than they are just for any old math buckaroo. And, yeah, so like I said, I'm also TAing, and that's... I have less TA stuff this year than I did last year, because last year I was the only grader, and now we have 2 others with me, so I only take 1 day of the week. But it's still a fair amount of work, and it is what it is. The other thing I'm doing is research, which my research is in experimental physics. And specifically, I'm building this thing called a Foucault pendulum. Feel free to look that up if you want, but the gist of it is that it's a cool little pendulum that demonstrates that the Earth is rotating. It's... I mean, it's not, like, all that exciting, but the presentation of it is cool. It's just a cool little project. I'm having fun with it. And also, for when I go to grad school, I'll get, like, research credit, so, you know, that's good. Which I am planning to go to grad school, since my end goal, as of now, is a PhD in physics. So, yeah. Hopefully that goes well. But who knows, that's still a far off way. What is this? I don't know all of the trinkets in this game, because I have like a decent amount of experience, but not enough for it to really matter. Yes. Oh, and then one thing... Wow, that was lucky. One thing I thought about is like, so what if I did like musical reviews? This was as I was watching the musical. And I thought, well, it's a cool idea, but how exactly am I supposed to do that? I can't record unless I want to, like, you know, be a funny little criminal. Which, preferably, I wouldn't want to, because I don't want to get kicked out from all musicals. But, you know, gotta hustle, on the grind. And I guess the last thing that is happening with me right now in my life is that my mom wants me to regain my high school physique, which is so tragic. If you didn't know, I was a gymnast throughout all of high school, and gymnasts are built quite nice, I gotta say. Look up some of those guys. They got some hot muscles. And I used to be like that, because in my senior year, I competed in Iron Cross, which I'm sure you've seen at the very least. It's probably the most famous, like, move in gymnastics. But yeah, as cool as that is, do I even have any power cards? No, my only one was... Whatever, it's okay. It is what it is. My only... What the fuck was I talking about? Alright, anyway. I was a gymnast. I was my school's ring specialist, which is, in my opinion, the most physically demanding of the events, but, you know, that's me saying that as someone who competed it, so, you know, there's a little bit of bias there. But yeah, getting back my gymnastics physique has made me remember, man, the way I used to train, I can't keep up with that anymore. It's like, I'm not in bad shape, obviously. I've still retained a good amount of muscle. But so much of it that I used to have is gone now. And I don't want to, like, start at the very beginning like a little baby nerd. So I'm trying to go for all of, like, the fancy stuff that I had. Nope, not happening. Can't hold across at all anymore. I can still do a back lever, but back lever's a joke. Anyone can do that. Give it, like, 15 minutes of practice. I'm sure you can pull it off, too. But yeah, so I've had to tone it down. And the bad news with that is that since... Oh, this is a nice one. Since... Ooh, lucky. Since, why do I distract myself? Why do I do things? Fuck. Oh yeah, okay, so since I'm sort of kicking it back, or not kicking it back, but like taking a step back, I am spending a lot of time exercising now. Which is a good thing, obviously, but like, oof. It's exhausting, and it's so hot in my area right now. The past couple days have all been 30+ degrees Celsius, and man, not having a great time. Because all my stuff is set up in the garage. I've got a pair of rings there, I've got a pull-up bar there, I've got a jump rope, which, here's a little pro tip for anyone who wants to get fit. Get yourself a jump rope. You may remember it from, like, elementary school, when you'd go, like, on the playground. But seriously, jump rope is so insanely good for your cardio. Get yourself a nice little cheap jump rope. Jump rope for, I don't know, 10 minutes a day. You will feel completely terrible, but you'll look great. And that's what exercise is about. Unlike... What did I play last time? Celeste? Did I finish? I did finish. I got to the end of Farewell, but it was, you know, I sort of started in the middle. Unlike that, I am not even remotely close to finishing, because this is only Act 2, and there are 3 acts. So I don't really have anything else to add. And I don't really feel like filling time. So maybe I'll just cut to when I win or lose this round. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something about this seems awfully convenient. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly good at this game. I only have Ascension 12 on this guy, 10 on this, 7 on this, and 2 on this, and that's out of 20. So, yeah, not fantastic at this game, but hey, I think it's a cool game. Check it out if it seems interesting. It's nice. Alright, the end. Bye-bye.